Okay guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on the hog maw first. They are much thicker, as you can see, than chitterlings, okay? And the way that we go through the cleaning process is also a little different. Unlike the chitlins where you clean them before you cook them, we're going to boil these first. Then we're going to remove the fat and everything else that we need to get off of the hog maw, okay? Okay guys, so here's our hog maw.
The cover is short, you don't have to fill it all the way up the top.
You don't gotta fill it all the way up, just cover it like that. So we're gonna place this over medium heat and we're gonna let this go for about a half an hour. This part right here is the chitlin. This part right here is not. So you wanna pull that off like this. Get all that off like that. That's the part that you want to remove. Okay, and then also you may see some brown stuff on there like this and big chunks like that. You want to remove that as well. Okay, so you see this? Remove all that and all this stuff right here on the side. You want to remove that as well.
You want it just like that.
You want it to be just like this.
There you go.
Okay. Some of that brown stuff, you want to get that off, rinse that off. Okay. So right here's another one. This is the last one we're going to show you. This is the fat that you want to remove. All that fat right here. And you'll know which part is the fat and which part is the chitlin because the fat is thinner, okay? So you're removing all that fat. This is that fat. Looks thin just like that. And this is the actual chitlin, all right? So that's how you clean chitlins, folks, okay? Me and Tanya gonna get done doing the rest of these chitlins, and then we're going to move on to the next step and let you know what to do next with the hog maws. Okay guys, so we boiled the hog maws for a half an hour over medium heat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be showing you guys how to clean the hog maws just the way we showed you how to clean the chitlins.
See that?
So in this case you'll be removing that fat right there. Or this fat right here you'll remove.
Yeah.
Fat right here you'll remove. Y'all know how fat look.
It's just like chitlins.
Right.
Clean, just like exactly like chitlins. You get all the, but they dirtier than chitlins because it's the gut.
And this right here.
You get that off.
Gotta remove that. Them big knots. That's gut. Remove that. This fat right here. Remove this. Okay. Remove that fat.
That goes.
All right.
See stuff like that.
Stuff like that. Look at that. Look at that. You got to remove that. Okay, guys. The next step is to cut the hog maws. They come out tender and they cook faster that way. You don't want to cook them whole like this. It'll take a very long time because hog maws are really thick. So what Tina is doing here now is she's slicing the hog maw into really thin pieces, and that will allow them to cook quicker and get tender faster. Okay, so make sure that you cut your hog maws up like that. See how she's cutting them? Cut them up just like that. Okay guys, so we're going to be cutting our hog maws and chitlins at the same time. This is a very big piece of chitlin. What I usually do is just cut them up into twos. So let's say this one right here. I'm going to slice that one time into a shape like this. You don't want to slice them too thin. You don't want them to be too small. And then I'm going to take it again and I'm going to slice this down the middle. So you slice them twice to make chitlins of 3. And see the size that they are? Still a nice size, not too small, but smaller obviously than what they were. Okay, like that. Okay guys, so the cleaning phase and the preparation for the hog maws and chitlins are all done. What we're going to do now is get ready to cook them. So we're going to move them from this pan and place them in a pot. We're going to add our ingredients and seasonings, and we're going to add our chopped vegetables that we chopped up off camera. All right. Okay, so here are the vegetables that we chopped up. This is the one onion that we diced up, and you want to dice them up into small, fine pieces. Here's the 2 stalks of celery that we chopped up, the red bell pepper. These are not hot, by the way. These are just regular red bell peppers, which are a little sweeter than the green bell peppers, all right? And we chop both of them up into really small, fine pieces as well. Okay, so make sure that your vegetables are chopped up into real small, fine pieces like this. Now, unlike other people, Philly Boy J is very unique, so you know I do things a little different, as I told you guys before, and I'm going to be adding to the pot of chitlins and hog maws about 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter. That gives it a really nice flavor once it simmers down and the juice kind of evaporates. Okay, so I'm going to be adding butter. You don't have to do this, but if you want the world's best soul food and homemade chitlins and hog maws, this is what you would do. You would add a little bit of butter, right, Tina?
That's right, baby boy.
Tina know, because Tina know how to cook. Okay, Tina know how to put it down in the kitchen. You're going to need some apple cider vinegar. You're going to need some hot sauce. You're going to need some crushed red peppers, some black pepper, some regular salt, and for flavor, you're going to need some minced garlic. Now, if you don't have minced garlic, you can use regular garlic powder, okay? And if you don't like your chitlins or hog maws on the spicy side, you do not have to use the crushed red peppers or the hot sauce for that matter. Those 2 are optional. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add the chitterlings and the hog maws to the pot. Okay. And this is a big pot that we're using here. Now we're going to add the vegetables. There's our onions, celery, green and red bell peppers. That's going to give the chitlins or hog maws a lot of flavor.
Yes, a lot of flavor.
Now we're going to add about 2 to 3 teaspoons of minced garlic. Add a little bit of that juice too. We're going to add the vinegar, and I add about 1/4 cup of vinegar. All right. We're going to add the butter now. And we're going to add the black pepper. Now some people, by the way, are really funny acting and they try to impress people. They don't like to use black pepper, they use white instead because these are intestines and people think that the black pepper is you know, pig poop, and it's crazy to think that way, but some people don't like to use black pepper because of that, and instead they use white pepper. But we're going old school. We're going to use black pepper. Okay? And that was about 2 teaspoons of black pepper. All right? Now, with the salt, we want to add the salt, the crushed red peppers, and the hot sauce towards the end. Okay? We're not going to add that now because we want to allow them to cook. And then once they're almost done, we'll determine how much salt we want to put in it, because sometimes it be pretty salty with the butter or margarine that you put in there and the vinegar, and you know, so you want to be cautious with salt. And if you do add salt, add a small generous amount. I'm gonna add the water. Then we're going to fill that up to the top. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover this with a top so that it gets tender. We're going to cook this on medium heat for about 3 hours. Maybe 4, but for about 3 hours on medium high heat. Alright? I'll get back with you guys when they're almost done and when it's time to add the salt, the hot sauce, and the crushed red peppers. Alright, and make sure when you put your lid on, you don't cover it all the way. You leave a little crack on the side like that. Okay? So that the air can come out and so that the water don't overflow and come out the pot. So, I'll get back with you guys when they're almost done. After 3.5 hours. Okay guys, so there are your chitlings and hog maws all done. At this point, what we're going to do is add a little bit of seasoning to it, just a teeny bit, generous amount. Okay. Like I said, we add these towards the end. This is optional. Add just a little bit of red crushed pepper. Just a little bit. And last but not least, for additional flavor and color, I'm going to add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of that hot sauce. Okay, and that's it. Just stir it up once more. As you can see, the juice is kind of thick a little bit. We don't even need to really add no flour. Chitlins kind of create their own little gravy, and once this cool off, it's going to thicken up even further. But yeah, this is how you make chitlins. They're really good. Okay. My family used to eat them with potato salad and rice. What you eat yours with, Tina?
Potato salad, greens, rice.
Yep. But I make the best. I said the best.
Can they hear me?
Uh-huh.
It's the best.
It's the best. It's the best.
Hey, corn.
Gonna plate our chitlins. And there you go, guys. Chitlins and hog maws for Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy the recipe. Peace.